Wonderful. Looks like everyone's in place. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good morrow. I don't know if it's yesterday for anybody, probably not. Last Thursday. It looks like Sugeng is in place with the boss, looking good, squinting tightly at the screen, which means that clearly we're in the final throes of preparation for this evening's events. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. It's thrilling to get to be together again, learning together again. Thank you so much to the live translators whose work is impossible, and yet you do it anyway. And we're extraordinarily grateful. Without further ado, I would like to hand things
Ben, stall
more
for another
further ado.
Stall for 2 more minutes.
Let's have some further ado, shall we?
Tell
It's
us about your last vacation.
about my last what?
Your last vacation.
Lucky enough.
Oh, my last
You guys say that
vacation.
okay?
What's a vacation?
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing exciting. I'm really glad that we get to do this, and this format's been exciting, not just to wait around to see you for weeks and weeks, but to get to see everybody each week. It's cool, right? We're slowly starting to build a little bit of a rhythm where we get to be more present in one another's lives, and it's exciting. I'm really glad that we get to do this. Nick, how are you? Do you have a voice?
It's coming back little by little. Thanks for checking.
You're right in the time to sing the blues mode.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think you should lay down a few jams. It's perfect. Hey, gorgeous.
We got Sugeng ready to do his homework.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You guys are looking sharp. Thank you.
I wouldn't say go that far, but
okay, homework time. Let's review what we learned from the previous time. So
what if we didn't learn anything?
Then that is okay. Interesting. So misunderstanding is also the condition for fresh karmas which are merit. What is the common name for it? What is the
common name for fresh karma's misunderstanding of merit?
Sorry, Oscar, what did you say just now?
Dirty good karma?
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, dirty good karma. Okay, what does it really mean? What does it really mean?
Good karma that's going to end. Good karma that's not that good. Because it's in samsara.
Collecting karma with an understanding of emptiness. The collection of merit.
The collection of merit. Now, well, I mean,
the collection of merit is different.
Temporary. Venerable Pala said temporary, but I want more than that. What does it really mean?
It means that you can be kind towards someone, but if you don't understand where they are coming from, then it will hurt you in the future.
Yes, Oscar. Yeah.
And he plays bass. It's a sign of a high intelligence.
So let me do it this way.
Wish. Yeah.
Yes, it happens to people who are doing good things without understanding how things are coming from them. It's dirty because it will wear out. It just creates temporary happiness and then much more intense suffering after that.
Yay.
Yeah.
It's like a seminal.
Unless we match it up with the gym after that.
Right. I'm trying to talk him into using his garage.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you want to use my garage as well? Why do we say that being kind for the wrong reasons is another kind of unkindness?
Wow, that's poetical.
I quoted from you, Keshwar. So, anybody remember what we discussed then?
Lindsay wants to say.
Lindsay, want to say something?
It just doesn't help anyone in the end.
It doesn't help anyone in the end, and what else?
Ultimately.
All suffering helps ultimately.
intention, yeah. It will bring pain, yeah. It will bring pain along that line. Okay. Oops. What is that? Cricket? You further. Oh yes, you further your ignorance. So, in simpler English, because misunderstanding kindness only means that you are deceiving yourself and causing the blindness veil to become thicker and thicker. I hope this is simple enough.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to move to the attempted translation.
Oh, painful.
And yeah. So, so should I read first? Okay.
You can make it bigger.
Yeah, I will.
Somebody's gonna complain to Grump.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Đây là yang wang poi yewen nampar shepe raptu yewa chom dan de ki pen ki dulja nepe chedakla tuna ngowo nini maino.
Yeah. This is tough. Let's see. Referring to Lord Buddha's teaching on the vision of consciousness through the sense of this is a little tricky. When Lord Buddha made different divisions of consciousness, right? Different categories of consciousness. He did it according to, by the way, you know this book by, what's his name? Kamala Shila, which is called The Steps of, The Steps of Meditation. And he wrote 3 versions. And we have 3 versions. We have 3 different versions of the same book. Why? $100 question. You shut up. No, not me.
Audiences.
What audiences?
Levels.
No. You should pay me $100. Huh?
Different motivations.
No. He taught internationally.
Yeah.
He taught in India, Nepal, and West China.
Yeah.
So he had a different version for each country. You see what I mean? And we still have them. It's interesting. They're very interesting. We put one in Utpala's book. But anyway, here it's the same thing. Nepe Chedak. Ne.
Nepe. Location.
Yeah, by location.
Location.
He gave different presentations on how many divisions of consciousness there are depending on the audience in different locations. Okay. Sometimes he said how many? 6. Sometimes he said 8. Like that. Who did he tell 8 to?
The mind only.
The mind only. And then who he told 6 to was the other guys. Okay. That's very similar to Shantideva for $100.
The 10 perfections and the 6 perfections.
Oh, you're paying me. You have to pay me, right? Especially the director. I mean, it was a long time ago that we covered it in Seiji's book. Some people said there were how many chapters?
Different
10
chapters,
chapters and
9
12
chapters or 10 chapters.
But what was the division by? Yeah, North and South India. It was divided by location. That's what he's saying here. Okay, location. We are dividing those consciousnesses by the students in a particular location. Okay, but and now Sugeng can translate this part. Mo ni ni mayin.
It's not. It doesn't have any essence.
Here it doesn't mean emptiness. It just means
Self.
it's not the nature of consciousness that it's either 6 or 8. It just depends on who you're teaching.
Oh, okay.
You just say 6 or 8 depending on who you're teaching. It's not the nature of the consciousness itself.
I see.
Okay, it's a very interesting argument. Okay,
Cool. Wow.
okay, all right. It's a whole thing about Chang'e. Depending on the student, it's not a division of in itself. It's a division according to the student.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, wow. Okay. Ditate kachik tu ni nampar yewa yang mituno.
And that's proven by the fact that for Kachik,
Mhm.
he mitun number yawa.
Doesn't understand.
Dun.
Not a, doesn't
He didn't
teach.
teach.
Doesn't teach. Okay.
There's some students he didn't teach any divisions
I
to
see.
consciousness.
Oh.
So you got 6, you got 8, and you got 0.
Oh.
Okay. The fact that it's not innate to consciousness is proven by the fact that some people he never even mentioned more than one. Okay. Got it?
Oh.
It's according to place. Okay. You want to keep going?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. Once mine is
Okay.
done, then yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Indreni mik palan jukpe yewa yang ten peyente miki nampar shepala sokpa rere yang nampa mangwar tenpe chiro.
This is tough. Okay. We always say in words text, we say eight consciousness or we say namshe soktu. Okay. Either we say the eight consciousnesses, or why are we talking about consciousness anyway?
Oh, we are talking about link number 3.
We're in the third link.
Third link.
What's the longest link in his book?
The third link.
Consciousness. It should have been misunderstanding, but it's not.
Mm.
Why? He's mind only.
He's mind
He's
only.
coming. It's his coming out of the closet. He says, "Boy, we got stuff to say about consciousness that you guys can't believe. If you think I'm an Abhidharma guy, you guys are mistaken." Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So he says, we keep saying in the mind only school, Namshe Tsokdruk, Namshe Tsokdruk, in Abhidharma kosha school, we got to say kosha. Why? Abhidharma kosha.
Kosha.
Now we're in a second Abhidharma text, Abhidharma Samuchaya, which we're going to be dealing with after this class. Okay. Much deeper, mind only Abhidharma. Okay. All right. So anyway, he says, when you say Namshe Tsokdruk, okay, it's called the collection of 6 consciousnesses. And he asks an interesting question. He says, why do you say collection when you talk about the 6? And no one ever says collection when they talk about the 8. Why? Well, why? And I always was curious, when we went through words text for 8 years now, 7 years, they kept saying Namshe Tsokdruk, this collection of 6 consciousnesses. But they never said it with the 8. They never said the collection of 8. Why do they use the word collection? And now Vasubandhu is answering the question. Okay. Why we say collection? That term, J, by that term, instrumental, right? By the drop, by the term tsok, what we mean is we're indicating divisions according to what's the mikpa of that consciousness. What's mikpa?
Object?
Yeah, the object. Okay. So we can divide into 6 consciousnesses according to what they're looking at. 6 different kinds of stuff to look at.
Okay.
Therefore, 6 kinds of consciousness. Okay. And later in this class, he's going to say, well, why didn't you call it consciousness of colors and shapes and consciousness of smells and consciousness of sounds? Why do you call it consciousness of the eye? If you say the 6 are divided by what they see and not by who's looking. You see, why do you call it eye consciousness if what distinguishes it from the other consciousness is what it looks at, which is visible form? Why don't you call it the consciousness of visible form? Why do you call it the consciousness of the eye? Okay. The eye is the sense organ that it relies upon to see outside colors and shapes. If you're saying that the word collection of 6 consciousness is based on what it looks at, then why didn't they name them in the first place by their objects rather than their sense power? Why do they say consciousness of the eye? Why don't they say consciousness of visible things? Why do they say consciousness of the ear? Why don't they say consciousness of hearable things? Why do they say consciousness of the tongue rather than consciousness of taste? Okay, got it? How do you name them? How do you name those 6? Okay, and he's trying to justify why they say 6. there are six because there's six kinds of objects.
Okay.
Yeah, but why don't you call them by their objects then? Okay.
How-
Yang tembe.
So how do we interpret
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Oh.
Make it yang number tembe chiro. And it seems to me that if you're saying, if it were by the object, wouldn't you have to say consciousness of blue, consciousness of red, consciousness of white? Mangwar means it would get too many. It would get too complicated. Why don't we say consciousness of I rather than consciousness of colors? Because there's so many colors. Then you'd have to say consciousness of blue, consciousness of white, consciousness of red.
Okay.
But they all depend on one eyeball. It's more convenient. Okay, got it?
Okay.
Okay. Number one channel. Okay.
Oh, final,
Skip the line. Okay.
final one. Data main na nampar sewa duk cete samsik sungwar euro.
Yeah, data mayana membership of Drukche did some shik suman euro. Then if you said the six kinds, if you're just naming the consciousnesses from the six objects of the consciousnesses, okay, sorry, from the six sense powers, okay, got it? If you're just naming the consciousnesses from the six sense powers, why did you add the word collection? So, okay, he says, if it was the case that you name each consciousness from the sense organ that it relies upon, then why do you say collection? It's a question from the other guy. What's the point of collection? And I repeat that in the mind-only school, when they talk about eight consciousnesses, they never use the word collection. So this is Vasubandhu. He's like, why do we use the word collection? Okay, why are you guys using the word collection? Okay, cool. Why didn't you just say the six? Why did you say the collection of the six? Okay. Some means why didn't you stick to just six? Why did you say collection of six?
Okay. Oh, one more line.
One more line.
Sorry.
Go back one line, I think.
Yeah, this one.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
Making number shit.
Miki nampa shepe chok ne iki nampa shepe chok she nampa shepa chi chirma sungshana.
Yeah, and this is interesting. He says, why do you call it collection in the first place? And the answer, the guy who's answering says, every perception is a collection of stuff. Every perception is a collection of stuff. The perception of a cup involves the perception of roundness, of whiteness, of handleness. Every perception is a collection. Therefore, we would like to call each, we refer to them as collections, not because it's a collection of six consciousnesses, but because each consciousness involves a collection of parts.
Wow.
For example, all the stuff that it's looking at, wide, round, long, short, okay? Then he says, well, in that case, you shouldn't have said Namshe Tsokjuk, which means that collection of six consciousnesses. You should have called it the collection of eye consciousness, the collection of ear consciousness, the collection of nose. You should have repeated collection 6 times. If collection refers to the parts of one consciousness and doesn't refer to the 6 together, then you should have repeated the word collection 6 times. Okay, okay, got it.
Wow, this is cool.
If you say the collection refers to the parts of a single consciousness, then why didn't you call them the 6 collections of consciousness? Okay, eye collection, nose collection, ear collection. Okay, got it?
Yes.
Chichim masum. Chichim is why didn't you say the collection with each different sense consciousness? Why didn't you call each one a collection? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that's all, Grandpa.
And it's curious. I mean, if you you might have noticed it in the in Word's text. You might have been curious why they keep saying collection with the 6. You see what I mean? I think we're down.
One more.
It's here, right?
Yes, that's the one,
Okay,
yeah.
so Sugeng, you want to pick on somebody? You can see all the people in this room. You can see all the people online.
Okay.
Tatiana, no, just kidding.
How about English?
Pardon.
No, so you can sit here. No, so you can sit here, Gisela. Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Sokki Gao
Dre.
Dre Don Che Zimpe Cherdang Nampa Shepa Le Shenzo She Jawa Mepa Tempe Chiro.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Don't run first.
What's sok mean?
Collection.
Yeah, and by the way, in the higher teachings, in the Diamond Way, sok has a special meaning. It means the collection of the offerings.
Oh.
And it came to mean seichu. It came to mean the ceremony that we do twice a month. Okay. And it's just called the collection. Okay. Very famous sok. Okay. Soke Jaden Chase and Be'etir. I already told you why I'm using the word sok, collection. And there were 2 opinions. One was that there's a collection of 6 different consciousnesses. And one is that each individual consciousness collects many parts. For example, object and sense power and the consciousness. Okay. I already went through that. Number shepalation, sok shejawa mepa. I'm not trying to use the word collection for anything other than the consciousness. Okay. I'm not trying to. I call it the 6 collections of consciousness. He seems to be implying that he's not going for the parts. Okay.
This is Master Vasubandhu, right?
I think so.
Oh.
Yeah. Same. Yes.
Miki Nampar
Mickey.
Miki Nampar Shepayang Kang Shena.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is okay. So why do you want to call one of them if you don't want to call each one a sok? If you don't want to call each consciousness a collection of parts like object, sense power, consciousness, if you don't want to say that, and you want to name the 6 consciousnesses by the sense power that they depend upon, that they use to see the outside world. Okay, for example, okay, if you're naming your consciousnesses by the sense organ, okay, then what's that all about? Okay, how do you justify that? Why do you want to call it I consciousness? And he still bothers him that you don't want to call it seeable thing consciousness. That would make more sense. Consciousness of visible things would make more sense than calling it consciousness of your eye. You're not conscious of your eye. You're conscious of the outside visible forms. You should have called the consciousness by the forms. Okay, it's not a bad argument. Okay, and we say dun da da.
Mila Mikla Tenchin Sukso Nampar Rikpani Miki Nampar Shepao.
Yeah.
We prefer to call it visual consciousness. Okay, consciousness of the eye, EYE. Okay, we prefer to call it that because it depends on me.
The object.
Yeah, it relies on the eye to see the outside objects. Okay, we don't want to call it the consciousness of visible objects because to see the visible objects, it has to use the eye. Therefore, we would like to name it the consciousness of the eye. Okay, that's our answer. Okay. One more would be nice for her.
Yes.
Deshin Dui Ki Nampar Shepe Bar Wartu Parduchi Rikpar Jokpar Chow.
Nice. Where did you learn to read?
Word.
God, that guy's killing me. Okay, Deshin do you get number Shepe Pardu? And it's the same Pardu means up to
intermediate,
up to the 6th consciousness. Okay, we're not going to repeat consciousness of what you hear, consciousness of what you smell, consciousness of what you taste, consciousness of what you feel. Come on. Okay. Chirik Bajil means same logic. We use the same logic. We call the consciousness by the sense power in each case, even if that sense power is your mind, rather than what it focuses on. Okay, cool?
Cool.
Because it can't focus on those things without that sense power. Okay. By the way, I mean, I was getting irritated by here. And here's my old book with my teacher. And this drawing was traced by Butchie, the Grateful Dead guy. And that's when he was 7 or something. That's how long I've known him. Here's consciousness right here. See, it's a monkey here entering the house. You know, what happened to this idea of the third link being the awareness entering your mother's womb? He hasn't mentioned. I object to all these guys. You know, you're supposed to be explaining the wheel of life. You're supposed to be explaining consciousness in the context of entering your mother's womb. You haven't even mentioned it yet. Okay. That's my thing. Oops. Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, who's gonna read again?
Let's start with Oscar.
Oscar.
Hola.
Nice reading, by the way. I hate to say good job. I'm not paying.
Sorry.
Kelte?
Kelte sukla sokpa sosor nampar rikpa nampar shepa yina chichir miki nampar shepa shetenki suki nampar shepa mayin teshin tu chuki nampar shepe wartuma jinishana.
It happens to be Pandu. When it has a possessive in front of it, it has to be a noun probably, which means it couldn't be the second part of a verb or something. Okay, so here's the guy's question. Telte sugla sopa soso number ripa. If something is consciousness, number shepa yin, insofar as it distinguishes between things like visible forms, hearable forms, smellable forms, okay, then why don't you call it visual? Why do you call it visual consciousness? Why don't you call it consciousness of colors and shapes, for example? Why, if you distinguish between the consciousnesses by what they see or what they perceive, why do you name them from the sense power? He's going back to this question. Now he says it right out. Okay. And I'm talking, in my opinion, ki means rather, disjunctive, okay, at the end of a line. Whenever there's a comma after ki, it's disjunctive. Okay. Ki, why didn't you name them consciousness of visible form up to consciousness of things in general, meaning the sixth consciousness? So he says, I would have named them from the objects that they are perceiving. I would not have named them from the sense power that they're relying upon. Why did you choose to use the objects? Okay, he's repeating the question. More formally, he's repeating the question. Who's
Oscar? Can you continue?
You got the cursor?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Niklas Sokpani Chikonar Semchengi Tangsu Tokpe Chirtang Tunmogtang Tunmog Mong Matsowo Yujin Pei. Oh, sorry. Yujin Pei Yujin Kitsowo Yujin Pei Chiro.
Yeah, we're using the sense power to name the consciousness because they are the gyu solo of the consciousness.
The cause of
they're the principal trigger of the consciousness.
Okay.
Okay, they're the principal cause of the consciousness. Okay, you take you poke out a person's eyes, there's no conversation about what they're seeing. Okay, that proves the main cause is the eye. Okay, got it? So we're talking about the main cause, soul. We want to name the consciousnesses from the sense power involved, because the sense power involved is the main cause of the consciousness in both a Tumong sense and a Tumong Mayimbe sense.
Oh, what?
In both a common sense and
Sense.
an uncommon sense. And he's going to talk about that later.
In
In both a common connotation and both an uncommon connotation, it's the eyes which are the main cause of visual consciousness. Okay, got it?
Okay.
And it's a lot easier because it's only chig for every human being, every living being.
Only one.
Mainly,
Oh,
it's not like you have 12 eyes or something.
okay.
You have one set of eyes, you have one set of ears, you have one set of nostrils. Okay, so it's more. What's not singular? With the visual consciousness, what's not singular? The objects, the things to see: blue, red, round, green, Sugeng's face, Sage's face. There's so many things, He says, look, it's easier to name them from a single thing, which is the eyes in the head. It's you don't want to name it blue, white, red, etc. consciousness. It's too much stuff. But the visual, the eyeballs are just one. Okay. I'm surprised they didn't have a debate here about the eyeballs being two. Thank goodness that's the debate. Now, he said, in both a common sense and a unique sense, the eyes are the unique cause, main cause, gyutso, for the consciousness. And he says, you may be wondering what I meant by common and unique, or common and uncommon. He mentioned the word common and uncommon. Now, he's like, you guys aren't curious what I meant? He says, here it is.
Okay.
Who's going to read
Can I invite Herr Lowenhart?
Wait, let me get a better.
Accessibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Sugeng, you got the screen.
Okay.
Timothy,
Hello.
do you see him dressed up for his parents?
Yeah, so handsome.
Look, my hair's not even sticking up right now.
I came in the cafe, I said, I don't recognize the guy. Then I figured out.
Tumongi Yushe Jawani, Mikni Gunpola Sopa Spooky Nampar Shepartam Jeki Gunin Guyente Chiro.
Yeah, Tumongagyu, a common cause, shared cause. Okay. Kawani, Mikni Gumbala Sopa Suki Nampar Shepartam Jeki Guyente. The eye is the Tumongagyu.
The common cause
of perceptions of Ngumbo, etc.
The shared cause, the common cause
of perceptions of Ngumbo,
of
etc.
the blue, etc.
Yeah, blue, etc. Okay. So when I say shared cause, I'm talking about perceptions of blue, perception of red, perception of white. They have a shared cause, which is the eye sense power. Okay. They all share a certain cause. That's what I mean when I say shared cause. Now we want to know what he means when he says
uncommon,
unique cause, unshared cause. Okay. That's the next sentence. Who's going to do that one?
Mr. Lowenhart, please.
Right. Tungmo Ma Yinpe, Guni Guchikpe, Nampar Shepe, Guyempe Chiro.
Yeah, and this is interesting. The eye sense power is the shared reason why you can see, for example, many kinds of colors. So it's shared by all those perceptions of color, different perceptions of color. But it's unique in the sense that it triggers the single visual awareness of the person who has it. That's unique. It's one thing. Going inside,
Mm.
from outside to inside, the I sense power triggers a single consciousness.
Mm.
Going outside, the I sense power allows the perception of multiple colors. So going outside, it's shared cause of all the perceptions of all the different colors. Going inside,
Mm.
it's the unique cause of a single thing, which is visual consciousness of that person.
Mm.
Of that. Okay, got it? Going out,
Mm.
it's the cause for multiple things.
Okay.
Going in, it's the unique cause of a single event, which is visual consciousness.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Not
Cool.
bad.
Wow.
Very, very subtle. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's next? Sugeng.
I would like to invite Venerable Chunzom.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Station du yit ki vardu chirik pa jupa jao.
Can you, yeah, you can apply. By the way, you're in a discussion of consciousness. You're going to get this language over and over again, which is what?
Up to.
Yeah, I mean, etc. up through the other senses. He's not going to discuss ear, nose, tongue, skin. He says, etc. Up to the mind, up to your awareness of your thoughts. Okay, it's a common cause. The thought is the common cause of a perception of multiple thoughts of a single person, but it's the uncommon cause of a single awareness of what you're thinking. Okay, going out to your thoughts, it's the cause of multiple events. Going into your awareness is the cause of a single event, which is your awareness of your mind. Cool. Okay. So I'm not talking just about your eyes. I'm talking about your thoughts also. Okay. Outway, there's a sensitivity to multiple thoughts. Inway, there's a trigger of a single awareness of your thoughts, which we call your mind. Okay. Okay. Your awareness of what you're thinking. Okay.
Yeah. Venerable, please continue.
Dun 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 dun. Oops.
Doshan le nila ten ni nampa shepa jung no.
Yeah. Consciousness occurs relative to two. Meaning outgoing and ingoing.
Okay. I see.
It's a common cause and there's an uncommon cause. Common cause of multiple awarenesses outside, and an uncommon cause of a single awareness inside. Okay. And Sutra says, now, I didn't go look up all these quotations.
Okay.
We may not find many of them, and we may find some of them. Why?
Because this is very old text.
Very old text. You're talking the beginning of the commentarial period. The only people older than Vasubandhu and Asanga are
Buddha.
Nagarjuna.
Nagarjuna.
Okay, Nagarjuna and Ayadeva. So you only have two major writers before them. So they're quoting sutras that may have been lost in the 1,000 years after that. And I didn't bother to go try to find them all, but I'm sure the translator will.
Okay, got it.
Okay. And then in a mixed nut standard, you have to say we found it or we didn't find it.
Okay.
But I'm warning you, there's a lot that you won't find.
Okay.
Because a lot of sutras went missing after Vasubandhu and before somebody like Dharmarakshita, who's at the end of the scale. Okay. Just before Buddhism was wiped out in India. There's no Buddhists in India. It's amazing. It's incredible. The whole empire was Buddhist. And they were wiped out so well that there's no Buddhist in India. There's a few. There was a movement for untouchables to become Buddhist because they said, what the heck, what do we got to lose? Because to be a non-Hindu in India is racially to be very prejudiced against. But they said, well, we're already the lowest caste, let's be Buddhist. And Buddhists were considered the lowest of all castes. Wow. They're no caste. Oh, okay. So anyway, Nikan Shina, what are the two?
Can I invite Gibson?
Gibson, I'm ready do your text tomorrow morning. You got to get up early, not me. Or you could fly to Hawaii tonight.
You want to read, Gibson?
Maybe he's asleep.
No, he's here. Oh no, you are. We can't hear you, Gibson. We can see your mouth moving, but we can't hear you.
That's an old trick for people. For people who don't want to read, they go like this.
Okay.
Let me see. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. 미탕 숙내 이탕 치 세자为파도 순서.
Yeah, you guys can figure this out.
Yeah, we can.
When we say that there's a correlation between the sense power and its objects, we can say there's a correlation between mik and suk,
the object and the form, eyes and form.
Why is suk a difficult word? Why is rupa a difficult word? Sometimes it refers to the first of the five heaps, in which case it refers to all physical things, including sounds, smells, tastes, and touches. Okay, but when it's referring to the object of the eye power, it only means visible form.
Visible form.
So as a translator, you have to be careful. Here you have to say visible form.
Visible form.
So I'm going to talk about pairings. You've got eye and visible form on up to
the mind
and thoughts, or what we call dharma dhatu, which is all the stuff in the universe. Okay, all the stuff in the universe is the object of the sixth consciousness. Wait, I thought you said visible forms were unique to the eye consciousness. They are, but in the second millisecond, the awareness of the thought is awareness of what the eye saw. Okay, you can. Okay, got it.
Okay.
So everything is the object of the sixth consciousness. All right. He's just mentioning pairs, and he says, "I visible stuff up to
mind and all things."
Thought. I like to translate "ye" in Abhidharma context as thought, and all things to be known, all things that can be known, including what you see. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Gibson, please.
Gibson, go to bed early tonight.
Yeah.
Go to bed early tonight.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
杨行雷
Yeah.
行 suki genki namba shiba inde kang jumse namba shiba shibe bo te 당제니 민당 쑥라 때내 시순서.
Now comes an argument, okay? So far, we've been saying the eye consciousness is named by the sense power it relies upon, but it's paired up with visible stuff. And all the way up to the sixth consciousness, which is paired up with its objects, which is all the things in the universe, okay? Then he says, wait, slow down here. I thought you said that we were talking about the link of the wheel of life that was triggered by name and form. Okay. I thought we were talking about the trigger of name and form. What is name and form in the wheel? Which link?
Number 4.
Yeah, that's number 4. And consciousness is
number 3.
The consciousness is supposed to be the consciousness entering your mother's womb. Name and form are supposed to be the boat with the 2 guys in it, which is your self in your mother's womb, your body and mind in your mother's womb. Okay, it was supposed to be like that. Okay. Then he says, this other guy says, Shenlei Mingda Sugi Kingi. But don't we also see, isn't it also the case that name and form, which always refers to body and mind. Okay, name and form in the wheel of life doesn't mean name and form. It means mind and body. Name and form in the wheel of life, the 2 guys in the boat, refers to your body and mind going into your mother's womb or passing through the mother's womb. Okay, so in that case, name is mind. Okay, so he says, didn't I see someplace that name and form could trigger awareness? Is that possible? Is it possible that your body and mind in your mother's womb could trigger an awareness? Yeah, if your mother's aware of it. If your mother's aware of being pregnant, your body and your mind are triggering her awareness. Or we can say that your body and mind, as you pass through your mother's womb, trigger your consciousness as soon as you come out of the womb. Your first thoughts are triggered by the body and mind with which you traveled through the 9 months of pregnancy. Cool. It's interesting. He says, well, if you think about it, body and mind trigger consciousness. Why? Because you going through your womb triggers the first thoughts you have when you come out of your womb. Okay. Got it?
Even inside the womb, it will also trigger the
yeah. And I'll tell you something else. If the doctor holds a stethoscope up to your mom's tummy in the, past the 3rd month or something, they'll hear a heartbeat.
Yeah.
That body and mind in the womb are triggering a consciousness in the doctor's ears.
Oh,
okay. It's interesting. Okay. So somebody says, seems to me, your body and mind could trigger consciousness, right?
Yeah.
The body and mind in the womb can trigger other people's consciousness, your own consciousness, your mom's consciousness. Why is he making a big deal about that?
Yeah.
Because in the wheel, the consciousness comes before the body and mind.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
In the wheel, the consciousness triggers body and mind. And this guy's being
being Tara.
He's being like Gibson. It's like he's like, yeah, but I think body and mind number 4 could trigger number 3. Okay, and he's right.
Yeah.
Which is like Gibson. It's irritating. Okay, number ship paginte. Tam chingse number ship paginte tam cheni minda sumatene shisumo. Yeah, and then somebody said, look, all the heaps that involve awareness depend on body and mind as a unit. Okay, all awareness depends on having a body and a mind. What about the formless realm?
Yeah, this is
very subtle.
Technically, the formless realm has form.
Oh,
and it's subtle prana.
Okay.
The beings in the formless realm do have form, but it's subtle. Okay, so they're not actually formless.
Okay.
So their body and mind can still trigger an awareness. Okay. He's getting nasty.
Getting Tara.
Here we go. Who's up next? This is a long one. Give it to someone you don't like.
I like Gibson and I like him to read too.
Okay.
Gibson, we can hear you again.
OK，杨贤雷，他把沙利普切堂，但把康吉切，明朗起给切用数满良心，数起给切，很难玩 cure， 贴给把一拉切把，捏玩捏拉贴雷，给被米奇能把西把，穷玩 cure 切顺手。
Yeah, now someone's coming along and saying, oh, look, there's another quotation from ancient scriptures about how consciousness arises. And I want to know what's your take on it. Who's you?
Vasubandhu.
He's asking about Vasubandhu. We got this other quotation from Lord Buddha about how consciousness is triggered. And I want to know how it fits in with what you said so far. Okay, what is the other one? Shenlei means from other sources. Hakpa Sharipu.
Arya Sariputra.
Yeah, Arya Shariputra says, okay, or something. Senan Debo, junior monk, he's addressing junior monk. Okay. Kangi Chir, for the reason that Miki Nangi Keche Yosa Manyam, if the inner sense power has not been damaged, this nyam means damaged, okay? What's that mean? You never got your eye poked out. Okay. You still have a functioning eyeball, eye power. Okay. Let's say that the inner sense power has not been damaged. Okay, manyam.
Mm.
And let's say that an outer form, sukchi, outer form,
Outer form,
like
sukchi.
blue, appears to that
Mm.
eyeball.
Mm.
Let's say your eyeball's functioning normally, and let's say a blue spot appears to that eyeball. Okay. Then scripture says, if there is in addition an associated act of attention.
Mhm.
Okay, if there is an associated act of attention, then you will have an awareness of the outer form. An awareness will be triggered. A sense consciousness will be triggered. So here's a quotation from some ancient sutra that you're going to look for.
Okay.
Okay, and I warn you, it might not be there anymore.
Okay.
Okay. He says, if you have an undamaged eyeball and a blue spot appears to it, you will have a sense consciousness. But if there's attention, if there is sufficient attention, and our student here says, what's this attention thing all about? What do you guys think? What's the Nangla Mangepa? Very famous, Nangla Mangepa. Say Nangla Mangepa.
Mangepa.
The sound presented itself, but the awareness wasn't triggered. And it's very common when a high school girl is thinking about a high school boy, and their mother says, dinner's ready. And they actually do not hear the mother's words. The mother thinks they're being disrespectful, but they're not. They literally cannot hear the mother because full attention is on this boyfriend's face in their memory or something. Okay, so did the object appear? Did the object of the mother's words appear to the sense organ?
Yes.
Did it appear or not?
Yes.
It did appear to the sense organ. Was the sense organ intact?
Yes.
Undamaged?
Yeah.
Yes. Was there a perception of the mother's words? No, because there was no attention. Okay, and then so now we got a new player in the game, which is attention. Yila Chepa. Yila Chepa means was there attention? Okay, and someone's coming up to Vasubandhu and saying, well, what's the role of attention? Because I hear sometimes that all the causes are there for a sense perception, but it doesn't occur because there's insufficient attention. What's that all about? Somebody's asking Vasubandhu. Okay, we got the object, we got the consciousness. How come there's no active awareness? And then this guy was talking to Shariputra, they mentioned attention. What's attention got to do with it? Okay, he's asking. Okay. Keep going.
Okay. Let me see. I see Alison Cho.
Hi.
Shopping.
Sugeng. Hi, Geshe. Dashing to Iki Lampash.
Our friend that jet lag yet.
It looks fresh. It's beautiful.
Jepe Part 2. Chik Rikpa Jokpa Chow.
Yeah, this is still the guy. He's still talking. That guy who asked the question is still talking. He says, the girl also can't think about her homework. Okay. Not only is there not an act of hearing, but there's an act of thinking about her homework because she's still thinking about this boy. Okay, got it? There's no attention. Not only with the sense perception, but with the inner thought. There's a lack of thought about homework, especially mathematics homework. Okay, all right. Let's talk about that. Who's up next again?
Xiaoping, please.
Okay. Tote di leni du cheki kenki nampa she sung na ngang chi nga pa jikda. Ngyewa jikda mi ngyu shena.
Yeah, and then he says, look, that other sutra is talking about attention, right? And then now this sutra, what's this sutra?
The dependence.
Yeah, the dependent origination about the first principle and details, right? Sugeng Sutra. Do dile, ducheki kenki, your sutra says the trigger of duche, what number of the 12?
The number 2.
Fresh karma.
Fresh karma.
Your sutra says the second link is the trigger for number shipa.
The consciousness.
The third link, number shipa. Aren't those two contradictory?
Wow.
Isn't it rather the case that attention triggers consciousness? Because when the girl's not paying attention to her mother, there's no consciousness. Why do you say the trigger is her past karma?
Wow. Okay.
Because Lord Buddha said to Shariputra, the trigger is paying attention. Now you say the trigger is your past karma. Okay. You say it's link number 2. Who's right? Who's correct? Okay. By the way, we don't have the Sanskrit of this manuscript. And people have looked for it for many years. And 2 people have found pieces. And one was an Italian scholar who in the 1930s, I think, went to Tibet on a donkey and collected Sanskrit books. His name was Giuseppe Tucci. And my teacher's roommate was his teacher. And he found some manuscript pages. And then Aisha Skoufalos, Mrs. Nguyen, Green Stretch Pen Bosses. She's our Sanskrit searcher. She searches the whole world for Sanskrit. And I have some exciting news, which I'd like to share with you guys. And this just came in today. She just got it today. And this input was done by our input center in Nepal, which a lot of our staff visited recently. And guess what they came up with? Here it is. Tucci edition on the left, found in Lhasa in the 1920s on a donkey. And then on the right, recently, Aisha and her team found a manuscript on palm leaf of Sugeng's book. And they had found them both, and they input them. And then Aisha went through and blocked out the differences, which is a lot of work. It's a huge amount of work. And what we have is, you see, those were the days before block print. Those were the days when you had someone copy the text by hand. And listen, as I said before, the people who copied by hand could not read. They just were human Xerox machines. And they were not taught to read. They didn't know what they could be copying a grocery list. They could be copying the sutra. They have no idea what it says. And so they made incredible amount of mistakes. So these old Sanskrit texts, which is why I don't use them personally, but we like to have them to refer to. And look at all the work she did. Okay.
Wow.
She's got all these palm leaf manuscripts. They input them at our entry centers in Varanasi and Kathmandu. And she went through and checked every single syllable. Wow. And we'll be using that. And we have to give her a hand. Yay. And that's what a cool ALL we have. I mean, the mixed nuts is cooler, Nick, but ALL's okay too.
1 more minute.
Okay, we got 1 more minute.
Yeah.
Is this it? Yeah, how about you read this one for good luck?
Okay.
By the way, I just remind everybody that Sugeng, in 1 minute, is going to lead a discussion about why the hell is this relevant to my life? Okay. Why does this discussion matter to me personally? How can I use this information in my real life? Okay. And Sugeng's going to lead a discussion, but he's going to finish this last sentence.
Okay. Do den dile ni duche ki kenki nam pashe shungna na chingelwar jita mingyur sena.
Yeah. How would it be the case, says the opponent? This opponent was a previous life of Word, and he keeps bringing weird objections. Okay. So how would it not be contradictory? Not chi means what he said before and what he said later. Who's he? Lord Buddha.
Lord Buddha.
Okay. How would this not be contradictory? First, he said that karma triggers consciousness, and then basically he said that consciousness triggers karma. So isn't there a contradiction there? Don't we have a contradiction? Doesn't link number 2 trigger 3 and 3 triggers 2? How can you make karma if you're not aware? So shouldn't awareness come before karma?
Wow.
It's a good question.
Very good.
It's a hot question. Okay.
Very good.
And you're not going to find out today. And Sugeng's going to translate the answer
The next few.
Stop here. What's the date today?
13.
13:23. Okay, Grandpa's taking a invert break, and I got my Ukrainian ginger drink, and Sugeng's gonna lead this conversation.
Okay.
Then we'll have a mixed nuts update. Oh, sorry,
Peach tree
news
update.
update.
Okay. We covered quite a lot today, and those are pretty exciting. I think, can I just stop share?
Yeah,
maybe that's better. Yeah. So, and I think I'm kind of excited with the content, especially on the topic of the object, sense organ, and then attention. And I just remember this conversation that I had during the SCIM, during the on-stage workshop. Maybe a lot of you don't know about SCIM and on-stage workshop, but I would like to invite all of you to maybe register and come in and try yourself. It's exciting. And then in my group particularly, I implement a self-reflection. Yes, we have it in the PMC document, the document that we do to prepare for our class. And then at the end of the document, we added this self-reflection. And even in the verbal presentation, when we are supposed to do evaluation after each speech. So I implement this self-reflection. I ask the speaker to reflect on their own. And I actually personally give quite a fair bit of time to that. So instead of me giving them a lot of feedback, you should do this, you should do that, this is incorrect, that is better, instead of me telling them spending a lot of time telling them what to do, I give more time for them to tell me their reflection, whether what they have done well, what they intend to improve. The reason I think I got the answer here, I can tell them 1,001 things that they can improve. But if they have a choice, yeah, they are there, they are hearing, I'm telling them they are hearing me, but they can choose to block whatever I say. So if I were to spend 10 minutes and if they choose to block me, it is useless. But if I give them 5 minutes just to tell me what they think went well and what they think they should do, those are 5 minutes quality idea that they have that they will, hopefully that they will implement the next round. So some people are asking me, why do you ask me to do self-reflection? I mean, some people write 1-2 liners in the self-reflection, and then my wife, Cynthia, will like to tell them, can you tell more? Because to me, I will just write, can you spend more time to do your self-reflection? Because this is the real learning. It's better for them to think, to pay attention, to focus on what they want to improve, rather than I telling them 1,001 things and they choose not to listen and accept at all. So I think this is the answer to what I did. So I'm kind of excited looking at the text. So that is from me. From the rest of you, do you have any other comments, other thoughts about how we can apply this in our life? Anybody, you can raise. Olga Afsan, someone who refused to tell me her real surname.
You sit on that side.
Yeah.
Come.
Okay. Yeah. See. Yeah. She's visible there. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Please.
Hi, everyone.
We call Ming Ming Doji.
Ming Ming Dorje.
Ming Mei Dorje.
Ming Mei Dorje.
It means Mr. No Name.
Ming Mei Dorje.
It's
Okay.
anonymous in Tibetan.
Oh, okay. Please.
So this discussion brought
Talk now.
this discussion of today brought me to the question of to the topic of Chi and Jedrak, and also of one and many, because when we say that we need to perceive with the eye what we perceive, we perceive many colors, we perceive many shapes. But with the nose, for example, we perceive only smells. With the ear, we perceive only sounds. So be it that we would group this thing that we perceive with our eyes differently, if it were that we would have a separate name for everything that is perceived by our eye, be it colors or be it shapes or be it whatever, then this whole discussion why there are many and we didn't call it by many and that is one, the sense power is only one, then it would be wasteful, the whole the whole discussion why is it so that we had in the beginning. So it always is it also is important that we how we divide things, how we categorize things. So what is the group that we bring these objects into, and then it depends how we think about it and how we form our conversations and how we view the world. So it's really the what ice cream, what cover we put on this, on certain amount of things that we perceive and how we name it, that then matters a lot. And another thing that I thought of, another life tool would be when we talked about the mind perceives all possible objects. It's not like in this sense, it's different from any sense power that we have. So this means that we need to pay special attention to our mind and to its clarity, to its being pure. The best thing is to purify our mind. Then everything that we perceive will become also pure. And it's like having, if the earth is covered with the sharp objects and prickles, and we try to walk on it, then to avoid hurting ourselves, it's easier and better to just put something on our feet rather than cover the whole earth with something to protect us. Same thing is, it's easier to purify our mind, to not get hurt by whatever we perceive, than to change the outside world that keeps hurting us all the time.
Okay, thank you. So if I can summarize, the first idea is to have a correct way to categorize things correctly, to put things in the correct bins. Yeah, suddenly I remember Ann Chong in my team is a super organizer. So when we have a lot of boxes, she always make it a point that we put the right thing into the right box. So I think this is what Olga was saying, right? We need to be able to categorize things correctly and then put them correctly into the box.
And also, sorry, yeah.
Many people.
It's not so much about correctly, because it's a pen. Whether you name something this, or you name something this, or you put something in this category or that category, that's a pen. Okay. Some person can put some person can put, for example, maybe in some language there exists a word for everything that we perceive with an eye. So we could put,
so you're saying that we need to have the right way to categorize them so that we can understand them correctly. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that how we understand the world really depends on how we categorize things. Okay. And then there is no such thing as correct or incorrect, because for some people, the correct thing is to put these objects into this category because their language has the word for it, for example.
Okay.
For other people, it's correct not to do so
It's
because
back to the sensitivity that we discussed in advanced level 3. Being sensitive to different life systems.
Exactly. And that's it brings us back to emptiness.
By the way,
categories.
some of you, if you want to know more about life system, you can register to advanced level 3, which is happening in December and January for some people.
It's the best DSAT level ever created.
Yeah.
I have another idea.
Yes, please.
I'll throw it out there.
Yeah.
At the end, he was talking about, it seems to me that link number 2 could trigger link number 3, but link number 3 could also trigger link number 2. That's what he basically said. Okay. And he finds it to be a contradiction. Is it necessarily a contradiction? Why not?
Yeah.
It's like the chicken and the egg.
Yeah, it's the chicken egg. And that's the whole point of the wheel.
Yeah.
The wheel is self-perpetuating. The wheel makes itself spin. Of course, 3 causes 2 and 2 causes 3.
Yeah.
And that's why we're stuck here. Okay. It's not weird that 2 causes 3 and 3 causes 2. It's why it's a wheel. That's how wheels work. Okay? And maybe there's a lot of other things in our life that are like that.
Yeah.
Our reactions to things cause more of the things, cause more of the reactions to things, cause more of the things. It's the idea of a self. Every time we respond negatively to someone else, we create another negative person to show up.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Geshwa. We have 4 more minutes. Anybody else has anything to say?
How would you use this in your life?
How would you use this in your life? What we have just discussed. Oh yes, Sophia, we have a special guest in the studio today. Sophia Chang from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
This is less of a comment and more of a question/request. But at the beginning of the session, there was a section about kindness and about how if it's misunderstood, it can lead to more suffering than good. And I wanted to dive deeper into that and maybe hear from you both.
She's talking about your homework.
Yes, because I found that really intriguing because recently I had dinner with a friend and she was using this metaphor about like a bright light, and a bright light will attract a lot of moths. But if you don't protect or shield that light, it's not good for the moths who can burn or the light that can flicker out. So that section about kindness reminded me of that metaphor, and I don't think I've fully comprehended its meaning yet, but just would love a deeper dive of its essence. So thank you.
Thank you. Good question. Yeah, that's the reason why you need to come to Mixed Nuts sessions every time. Yeah, we discussed this quite thoroughly in the past, but I think we will come again. That topic will come again, so stay tuned. All right. Even if you are back to NC, North Carolina, you can still join us in Zoom. Thank you, Sophia. Any other ideas from the Zoom? Anybody? Otherwise, online. Oh, okay. Anatol Nguyen said that a circle of fire. It looks like a circle of fire. In the end, it's only apparently a circle. Anatol, you want to say something about this? We have 1 more minute, by the way.
Just to keep going on Geshe Michael's indication that the wheel can go either way. 3 can trigger 4 or 4 can trigger 3. And it seems like the Nagarjuna was saying that in the end, it's like a circle of fire. It's like an illusion where we see the triggering in a certain way because of our seeds. But if we had different seeds, we could see 4 triggering 3, and it's all a big mess.
Okay.
He wants to call your book Big Mess.
It is, the world itself is a big mess. So yeah, I think it's a good wake up call. It's a good wake up call. Yeah, even to me. Yes.
I can see Aisha there with Anatol. We want to thank you one more time for that.
Thank you, Lama, for
Worked for like 6 months trying to get it done. She found it in a very obscure library in Nepal. The fact that
it wouldn't have been possible without our Nepali friends from Kathmandu Center. So thanks to them, we could access it. If not, I wouldn't have been accessed just the catalog. So
Yeah.
thanks to Pushpa and Miraj, Santo, and everybody in Nepal.
And Venerable Sunam in Diamond Mountain helped us get a book out of the German library this month. A very rare book.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to have friends who can get into libraries.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for another book from a certain library, from a certain Maria Kondratieva.
Russia.
We talked about it today.
All right.
It's
All
not
right.
easy. It's not an easy one.
That's mixed nuts definition. Okay, I think we're switching over.
Yeah, we are switching over to page 3 team. World News. I think that is what, Juan or Daniel?
I don't know. Nick, do you know who's up?
I believe Juan should be standing by, and in fact,
Oh,
it's pretty
wonderful,
face.
wonderful.
Fresh
Please.
mustache.
Hello.
We're gonna unpeg ourselves so you can.
Okay. It's good to see you. It's good to see that you're all having fun at the college in Sedona. So today we have 3 special news. First of all, we're gonna start with something that's gonna happen. As you all know, December seems to be a very fun month to come because Kyoto is on its way. We're gonna have a very special event about a program over there, opening your mind to dreams. But not only that, there is also gonna be a Sedona College summit there. But now there is another event happening in Kyoto this year that we want to share with you, and I'm gonna share my screen so you can see what I am talking about. Just one sec, and here we have it. Okay, so YSI just opened a new, like, how do you say, a new distributor in Japan. And these are great news because they are the first distributors of YSI, and Lisa Lee and her partner May are running this new project. So from December 12th to December 18th, many of the YSI team members like Connie, Errol, Bob, Alfonso, Benji, they are gonna be there, and they're gonna be sharing this Lady Niguma Foundation Level 1 Special Edition. And also they're gonna have a special program called Journey to the Inner Potential. So if you happen to be in Kyoto, this is a great chance to deepen on your studies of YSI. I think it's gonna be a really, really cool program. You can get your more information using the QR codes there, either WeChat or Telegram, I think. Check it out. So yeah, that's also gonna happen in Japan. So you could plan a whole holidays trips in Japan if you can make it. Okay, so for our next section, we have Arina with us. As you may know, she is one of the social media people who has been having great success running Geshe Michael's social media. So if Arina is there, could you spotlight? Because we're gonna have a short talk. We're gonna have a short talk with her. Hello,
Hi.
Arina. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Very welcome. So, Arina, can you tell us a little bit? You have 3 things that you want to talk about. And I would like to start asking you first about Geshe Michael's social media. Like, how are you doing with that? What are the next steps? And what was your secret to make it so successful?
Well, I'm doing great with that. We're growing. We're reaching a million of people, which is pretty amazing.
1 million,
What's that?
1 million people?
Close to that, yes.
That's awesome. In what platform?
So it's in all platforms pretty much. It's Instagram mainly, which is getting the main success, and then TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all that. And I just basically wanted to invite you guys to subscribe and follow the little videos. And it's a nice reminder during the day. I usually post a few times a week, so it's a nice, little snippets from Geshe Michael's teachings, and it's just a very sweet little thing to have. Like, you scrolling on Instagram anyway, just you might as well be watching Geshe. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you're reaching about 1 million people with that. And again, what do you think is your secret to make it so big and so successful? I think that's important.
I'm not sure. I have a feeling it might have to do with karma.
Okay, that's amazing. Maybe at some point you could give us a longer detail on what have you been doing, because I remember I talked to you and you gave us a detailed explanation on how you plant those seeds. So that's a very cool topic, maybe for another time. But now you're also running not only the social media for Geshe Michael, but also for John Brady. So can you tell us a little bit of that project, of the Patreon project with John Brady?
Yeah. So Patreon is actually a separate platform, and some of you probably have seen JB on social as well, and all over social media, Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube. But this is something very special that I'm so happy that John was able to find time to help me create. So this is a closed platform where you can find meditations, short teachings from John Brady. This is specifically from him, and every video, which is actually being uploaded weekly, so every week you get something new, and you also get an access to the whole database. We've started a few months ago, so we have a bunch of videos. So every week you get a little snippet of wisdom, everything up to 15 minutes long. So if you're driving or if you're scrolling again, and you have 10 to 15 minutes to practice, or you have a certain problem which you want to solve and you're looking for a tool, you can just go on there and scroll and look for a topic that you're interested in, and likely you have a solution. You'll find a solution there. So it also, we tried making it very accessible for everyone. It's like $8 a month for the lowest tier, and all proceeds support ALL. So it's extremely important. And I mean, how we get these teachings, these books, this text, it's all thanks to ALL. So I think it's a very sweet thing to support them.
Thank you very much, Arina. Yeah, just today I was watching one of his short videos, and I really like it about how to observe our mind when we try to meditate and the obstacles that we can encounter with it. And I really like everything, the edition, the content. So great job. And lastly, you were saying you are also helping Diamond Color Press lately to make some marketing on it. What are you doing with that?
Just a little bit. I just started. I just spoke to Rosa, and they actually having an amazing sale. And all these holidays are coming up. So if you guys are looking for a meaningful gift, this is a good bundle that you can give to yourself or to anybody that you like a little bit. Maybe there's somebody you don't like. I don't know. But this is something. Yeah. This is something you could get. It's on sale. I'm not sure how long it's going to stay on sale for, but I would highly recommend to grab it now. Both are amazing books. I've only read one. I'm starting Catherine, but I'm very excited to get it. I just bought it recently, so highly recommend.
Okay, great. Maybe those are good, in we celebrate these holidays, Christmas, and other things, it's a great present for that, maybe.
Absolutely.
So cool. Thank you, Arina, very much for being here today. And we will have you soon sometime so you can give us more detailed explanations on how to plant those seeds for marketing success.
Will do. Thanks, Juan. Thanks a lot.
Thank you as well. See you. And now going to our section on getting to know the Mixed Notes translators, we have a very, very special guest as well. A person who his fame is growing and growing, but his heart is following as well. We have a very admirable doctor with us, sharing about his personal background. Dr. Ben Kramer, welcome.
Thank you. I'm not a doctor. Don't send any requests for medical advice. I can't help. But
No, I know. It's just the title of excellence that you all deserve.
That's kind. Thank you, Juan.
So, how are you doing these days? First of all, let's see what is like. How are you feeling? What are the projects and programs you are being involved? Because I know you are one of the, of course, translators, but also you are one of the managers of the whole Diamond Cutter machinery, I will say. So if you could tell us a little bit of what are the projects that you are involved these days, and if you can add there, which ones do you enjoy the most, and which ones do you say like, I have to do them, but you do them anyways?
Oh no, yeah, that's a good way to put me on the spot. Nobody wants to have to do administrative work, but we are working hard to keep this organization flowing smoothly. I work closely with Dr. Nick Lashaw as well, who's also not a doctor, but it's nice to call ourselves that. And if this is a wonderful opportunity, I love being able to spend this time together. We study, we translate, we do a lot of work for ALL as well, working in the database, putting new books in the library, and keeping the library organized. I love getting to be close to these teachings. I love getting to spend my life immersed in them. Hopefully, we can create a system that allows this process of discovering books, putting books into libraries, translating books, teaching books, spreading them around the world. Hopefully, we can keep this going indefinitely into the future. And that's a lot of what we're working on now behind the scenes, is trying to create a plan for this all to continue. And you're all doing your part. Just being here and participating is wonderful. Creating community, creating excitement. Just come and learn, and we'll do the rest. We're coming up with more plans to find more ways for you to help, and I promise we'll give you more information as it comes. But being here and now, sharing together, getting wise together, getting loving together, it's perfect. It's beautiful, and I'm very honored to get to play a little role in it.
So in order to get to know a little bit more about you as a person, what other things do you do other than Diamond Cutter Classics? What are your, I don't know, hobbies, different businesses? Some of you may know that he has a beautiful family. And what kind of things do you like to do together?
I do. I have a beautiful family, it's true. And my wife, Kendra, and I studied together for many years. I don't know if there's time. Do you want to share the 1-minute video, Juan? It's just cute for fun. We have a yoga studio here. I just thought you'd get a kick out of it. One of the things that this program supports is a yoga studio here in Albuquerque. How does it support this yoga studio? Because yoga studios don't make money. Maybe somebody makes money from their yoga studio, but here it's just like a community center and a way of us trying to share with our community. And I couldn't do that if it weren't for this program that allows me the time and space. It's just fun, if you don't mind, Juan. It's kind of cute.
I'm Ben Kramer, and this is Nirguna Yoga.
My name is Kendra Rickard, and I am one of the co-owners of Nirguna Yoga.
Yoga has long been a method of mastering the mind by practice, that because mind and body are closely connected with one another, to adjust one is to adjust the other.
Well, I feel like the main benefit that I get from doing a yoga practice is just learning to listen. That listening translates out into the world, keeping that mindfulness to focus in on something and give it our full attention and our full presence.
This place is a place for affecting the body and mind in a single instant, in a single moment, at the same place and the same time, here as we practice together.
And so we come in, we do our yoga practice. Maybe we don't even necessarily know the philosophy behind any of it. It doesn't really matter, because the practice of yoga works to help us be able to focus on the things that we want to focus on in our lives with a little bit less distraction.
Very cool video.
Oh, I just thought you would think it's neat. I should get out of the way and let things move on. But I thought maybe you would get a kick out of the way that this program indirectly, by supporting me, by allowing the translators to live and support their families, it allows us to be involved in beautiful projects around the world now. And it's an honor to be a part of this program. Thank you, Juan, for taking the time and for informing us week after week. It's very cool.
It was very short time. We will invite you again soon, because we just barely started the conversation. I was about to ask you if you're already taking Ezra to the yoga classes, what's going on, but we'll leave it for some other time then.
Next time.
Okay, so we go back to the Sedona College, and this time we're gonna have class with Geshe Michael and Sugeng. No, sorry, Sugeng already went with Stanley Chen.
JG, Stanley will have to do his homework.